Work is Work, podcast by Vinny T. I put the work in, whole squad be urchin.
All right, welcome to another episode. As always, it's me, Vinny T, and as always, I have another guest. So, just introduce yourself and tell us what you do for work, man.
My name is Dejan. Do I have to put my full name?
No, call yourself whatever you want.
I'm a finance broker. That's pretty much it. That's what I do for now.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So, what I do is kind of start from the start. Your very first paid job.
I worked at Big W in Altona Meadows Central Square, right around the corner from your
my
place.
house.
Yeah.
Was that your first preference? Do you remember? Or was it like so generally people just put resumes everywhere, yeah?
Yeah. I tried to get a job at the library, bro.
What?
Yeah, the library, man.
What made you think like the library's the one?
Nah, my sister had a job at the library,
Oh.
and she was getting paid good money. And I was
Do
like,
they?
yeah, they get. I mean, back then they were getting good, like for that sort of,
Yeah,
job.
that age anyway.
Yeah, she was getting paid good, and I was like, yeah, I'll try that. I applied, no one responded. How did I get the Big W gig? I remember me, I think two other friends, Thomas, can't remember who the other ones were. Big W was opening at that
Just
time.
get closer.
Yeah, Big W was opening at that time, and they were like, I think they needed people like do night shift and stuff like that to like get the store in order, and then I think I seen that, and then it was like brand new, opened up or whatever, and I just thought, I'll go here, man, who cares? I think I applied in the spot, and there was this guy there, and he was just like, all right, we'll take all of yous.
Because it was a brand new store.
Yeah, we were just, I mean, it was open when we joined, but it was like brand new.
I remember, I think it was like one of the first Big W's too. Because it was just Kmart and Target. That's it.
Yeah, I recall growing up to Kmart.
Yeah.
Kmart was the place to be, the PlayStation and the little lolly things and stuff like that.
Oh, the lollies.
Yeah.
Fuck. They took that away because we stole them all.
Yeah, put in your
just
pocket
eat 'em.
and walk out. Yeah. My mum caught me doing that once. Slapped the crap out of me.
What did you do at Big W?
I was a night fill. I was stacking shelves, like filling in the stuff. So they'd be like, all right,
At night?
Yeah, like after it would close.
After hours?
Yeah. So like at 8 o'clock to about 11, they'd give out these little shifts.
Were you still in high school?
Yeah, I was 15 years old. Or
Are you
14,
doing night
15.
shift?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, well, my parents were like, as soon as 14 years, 9 months, you got to get a job, man. Like, pressure's on.
When I'm thinking about, I was talking this about on another episode. It's strange that we work during high school. Do you find that strange? Like,
Yeah.
it felt like the teachers didn't even know. Like, oh, I do homework. Well, I got to work.
Got a job, bro. Oh, I was useless, man. I pretty much made. They would call me in, and I would always make excuses
Not to go in?
Not to go in. I was lazy as. I only worked when I needed money for like the weekend, or I knew something was coming up, and I need some pocket money.
Assuming it's like 3 days a week.
Yeah,
2 days?
here and there. I was like casual, so it could have been like one day or 4, depending on how. Like when they were desperate, they called me.
You're like, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we got to call him again. That's what.
So
it felt
that's
like.
basically, you weren't a check. You didn't deal with customers.
No, I really wanted to, but man.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah, because I was like, why do those people get to do that? Like, that's a better job than I'm over here by myself doing this crap.
When I worked at a DVD store, that was the one thing that I hated, minus the traveling, because I worked in the city. But dealing with customers,
I got knocked back from a DVD, like
really?
Movie Land.
Yeah.
What was the other one called?
rental?
Yeah, the rental. Remember Seabrook? What was it called? The famous one, Blockbuster. Yeah, I got knocked.
In Seabrook?
Yeah, I tried to apply for that. Didn't get a job.
I got a funny story, but it's not my story. Should I tell it or not?
Tell it. Just don't say names.
No, I won't say his name. Fuck him. So our good mate, Lunga, used to work. Yeah, I don't care. He doesn't care. Best mate. It's the one in Seabrook, near Handy Food.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Tell me you worked there.
He worked there for like a day. And one shift, this is how he got fired. One shift, his dad come in and he's like, what are you doing? Like, your uncle's wedding's on. He's like, nah, I got to work. I'm in here. I'm in the store.
By yourself?
His dad's like, nah, you got to come. I'm coming to pick you up. I'm bringing you a suit and we're going. And he drove down to the video store, his dad, gave him the suit. He got changed in there and then he left. That's it. There was people in there.
And he walked out.
He walked out, bro. Mid peak of weeklies and overnights. He just walked out. And the next day, he rocked up to work like nothing like nothing's happened. And his boss was like, what are you doing here? I was like, I'm working. Goes, nah, mate.
You're out.
Give me your badge. You're out.
Oh, God.
Mickey. Fuck.
Doesn't even surprise me.
No, it doesn't.
No.
But that's funny. That's a story.
In terms of work, go back to your question, in like high school, do I think people in high school need to work? Yes, I think you can learn some sort of structure.
Yeah. Do you remember, I just remember this in the last episode, did work experience.
Yeah, that's how I got the Big W job.
Oh, really?
I did work experience there for 2 weeks.
Yeah,
and then that's how I got the job. And then I just stayed. But you just can't be counted on, man. Like, that's honestly, man, like I was, they would give us a poll and I would be thinking, like, why do I get, like, the cow manure and, like, why am I putting out the shit? Like, these guys are like making bikes and, the people that got, like, the good section. Yeah. I was always like, what the fuck? Like, why am I getting this shit section? I was constantly, like, not, I was looking for something else. I wanted the next job. Yeah. I want to build up.
Or just wanted to get paid and get that the fuck out.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. I was happy to work. I just wanted to, I think now that I look back at it, I was always happy to work. I just wanted to learn new things. Yeah. I didn't like, every night, come here, unstack this, go there. It's the same shit on repeat. Like, that destroyed me. Like, even from a young age, looking back at it now, I realise clearly I get bored of doing the same tasks. And I was just like, I can't, and then I'd find things to, get angry at or find a reason as to why I don't like it. Fuck this area, I'm going home. But really what it was just bored, man. Yeah. Like stacking shelves.
How long did you do it for? Not long?
I doubt it was very long, man.
First job's never long.
Yeah. I was employed for a long time. I didn't do many shifts. I think if there was some way to check who was employed for the longest with the least amount of shifts, I have to be up there. Yeah. I really,
do you remember how you quit?
How did I quit, man? I don't think. Oh yeah, no. I mean, I never formally quit. I just never came back. And they told me, they're like, if you don't come back, we're going to terminate you. And I was just like, okay. Right. They quit for me, man. Yeah, man. So technically fired, right?
Yeah,
kind of. Yeah.
That was like me at Macca's. Just didn't show up. And it's like, you're going to come in? And not really. And she, don't come back. Okay. And that's it,
man. I tell you, the second job I ever got, I got so lucky, man. So my parents, when I was 17 years old, they sold their house and they were buying another house. They went from Altona Meadows to Point Cook. Yeah. My parents are obviously migrants. They speak English, but every now and then when there was like something that like, hey, can you, they would always, lug me along. Yeah. I always found myself reading. I remember reading loan documents. Right? And trying to make sense of what was going on. And my dad was just like, what does this say? Because he understood, but like, let me just make sure I'm reading this properly, And I went with them to the bank. I think it was probably around December, so we're finishing high school, or November or something along those lines. And I went in to sign documents. Actually, it would have been a little bit earlier because they settled around December, but not that it matters. And I went in to sort of translate and talk my parents through the bank manager and whatnot. And the lady that did the home loan, she started talking to me and she's like, oh, this is really nice of you, not many kids will come and translate. And I'm like, oh, just, that's what I do. I talk to Telstra.
They're my parents.
Dude, I was calling Telstra at 12 saying I'm my dad. You know what I mean? Like, they're like, no, you're not. I'm like, yes,
that was my sister's job.
My date of birth is 1965. They're like, what? I always got wheeled into that. Anyway, so I started talking to this lady and she started just asking questions. What are you doing? What's your plans? And I was like,
How old were you?
17, man. This was like...
straight after?
Yeah, this is like, I'm about to finish high school. Yeah. And like, I have no idea, right? The typical, ethnic parent, you got to go to uni, you got to get this. And I was like, man, I'm screwing high school bad. And I can't even say a word because I know it's not going to be good. Yeah. But I'm just like delaying the inevitable. Yeah. I knew that I was like, oh, this ain't going to work well. I've got to get lucky to get into uni or something. Yeah. And anyway, run into this lady, we're talking, and then she's like, oh man, like you chat well, you present well, you understand what you're doing. Have you ever thought about getting a bank job? And I was like, no, like it wouldn't even come to mind.
Yeah.
Like even the thought of possibly doing it would seem impossible at that point. And then she's like, oh, what's your work experience like? I'm like, big W. She's like, you ever dealt with customers? I'm like, not quite. But yeah, kind of, like I'm just like winging it a little bit, thinking, what do I say? Like, is this some sort of interview? Am I meant to like pretend that I'm good here or some shit? Like, what am I doing here? Anyway, she just goes, man, you should apply. You know what? Get me a resume. Apply. And my dad's like, yeah, you should apply. Of course, fuck yeah. Like, what? So I come back, I give her a resume, completely forget about it. I pretty much stuffed up year 12. I didn't do anywhere near as well as I thought I would, worse than I thought I would, even though I thought it was going to be bad.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, I've got to figure this out.
Yeah.
So what do? You start applying for TAFE, you start applying for anything. I'm going to work, I'm going to do this. My dad's like, what the fuck, you got to work. You suck at school, you're getting a job, man. I was like day one, I think it was like New Year's Day, and he was like, what are you going to do for work? I'm like, man, like, I'm playing FIFA 7 hours a day, leave me alone, man. I was just playing PlayStation. Literally that was happening, and he's like, you can't do it, you got to get a job. So I went and I applied for some job, and it was some warehouse job, just like, I don't know, like I can't even remember what the hell it was. And then he's just like, why don't you go back and apply for that bank job? And I'm like, man, I'm not going to, like, what? How am I even going to get that?
Yeah.
Anyway, I applied for the bank job. I went in, I dropped off a resume. I dropped off the resume before that. Completely forgot about it, and he was telling me to follow her up or something along those lines. Anyway, I went into the bank. I actually spoke to the lady. I said, hey, look, you told me...
lady?
Yeah, found her. And I went in Central Square, Westpac, right?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, right around the corner, along the corner. And
I banked with them.
yeah, that's probably where you're...
No, I don't. No.
Optus hack, bro. Someone's got all your stuff.
Someone's going to hack me.
Yeah. Anyway, so I go back in, and I think I was just like going to the shop, so I was like, oh, fuck it, I'll just go and ask the question. So I went and asked her again. I said, hey, like you said, to apply. I applied, and no one said nothing. And she's like, what? They never called you? What the hell? And anyway, so she called someone in HR, got them to call me, somehow got me an interview, right? I went for this interview. I had no business being in there. It was for a bank teller job, Like I was okay at mathematics, but not like, I thought it was going to be a lot more complicated. Anyway, and 4 weeks later, they call me back, and they're like, we got a spot in Footscray. They're like, do you speak Macedonian? I'm like, I speak Serbian. It's close. I could probably make it out. They're like, oh, great, because we got this lady that's been there for about 20 years. Her name's Sally. She speaks English and Macedonian, and because we have such a diverse background of people, we need someone that, when the pensioners come in and they need a hand like withdrawing money, they need someone to speak to. And this lady was like ready. This lady was ready to get the hell out.
Second language is a thing.
Man, yeah. And at that point, my Serbian wasn't really that good, but like it was enough. Like I could communicate with everyone in the family, but I was like, oh shit, publicly talking, like,
Finance as well.
Yeah, like it puts you on the spot, but I was like, yeah, I'll be fine. Winging it a little bit. Anyway, I get the job. They park me in Footscray, Westpac. And I get this job, and like within the first week, I get pneumonia. I take 4 weeks sick leave on the first week of the job. I almost get fired.
Really?
Yeah. This lady, Barbara, and another lady, my manager Sheila, decide to hold on to me. They decide, you know what, he's a good kid. We need someone that can speak the language.
Pneumonia. You almost died.
Yeah, like no, I was like legit bad, man. Fuck. Like I was I ended up in hospital. Like it was pretty bad. It was undiagnosed. I didn't even know. Yeah. I got it because I was playing basketball outside in the rain, like a long time, and like I was sweating and not like washing. Yeah. Just stupid, young shit. Yeah, young shit. You're not thinking, Anyway, I get this job, and I have no idea what's going on, dude. And these banks like. It's a bank. Like money comes in and out of a bank. First day on the job, I'm like, dude, I just got finished getting paid like $12 an hour at Big W, and you're seeing like money like for the first time.
This is
18 years old, man. Straight in the bank, bro. No, nothing. Didn't even know what a bank account. I didn't know what interest meant. I didn't know what interest earning was. I had no idea what that meant.
I had no idea that age.
Yeah, like
I just learned it.
Who would? I mean, I'm sure. I mean, they
You have
always,
an idea.
Yeah, like how
Yeah,
things
yeah.
work, home loans, business loans, all these. And then what I learned real quick was like there's so many different departments in banking. You're like, oh, this has got nothing to do with numbers. This is all like sales, and people that can talk are really good at this.
Yeah.
You know? The people that can convince people to come here. That's what it was.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Use me. Like, trust me.
Yeah,
Like,
trust
that's
me.
what it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, to some degree, that's what it is today.
Yeah.
And then I basically waltz into this job, and the rest is history. I bounced around banking for about 7-8 years, and then
Fuck. Do you remember your first day?
not quite.
Like your first serving someone about banking?
Not really, man. I remember training. There was a guy named Alan. He worked in my company today. Like, we worked. I got him to jump from a bank, come work with me after. He was the first person that taught me how to do banking.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 2 guys I worked with ended up working in my company.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Do you remember any of it?
I do. I recall a lot, man. I got a lot of stories. I had someone run in with a fake AK-47.
No shit.
Yeah,
Footscray
branch. I was holding.
Wait. So this is when banks had
Glass protection.
Glass protection.
We had that button. I pressed that button one time. That thing shot up.
Oh shit,
Yeah,
that's
no,
real?
I accidentally pressed it, man.
That's not in the movies, but that's about it.
Nah, it's legit.
It's legit.
Within a second, man.
Oh shit.
Yeah, we used to test it every morning. Yeah.
Yeah, people don't really rob banks anymore, do they? You can't.
Not that I know of. Yeah.
They don't keep that much money. There's no big ass vault in the back, is there? Was there a vault in?
Yeah, there was a big ass vault.
Really?
Yeah, there was a big
That's
ass.
old school then.
Old school then, but not anymore.
Not anymore.
I mean, they wouldn't do that. Banks are too smart. Like,
Dude, banks these days don't have that screen. It's just one guy behind the counter.
Yeah,
It's like, you feel safe?
Yeah, like, what are you doing here? No, because the machine spits it out. You know, like they, I tell you what, banking taught me like these. I mean, it seemed like such a simple thing to say, but you'll be surprised how intelligent banks are.
Oh yeah, you have to be.
Like the amount of money they put into outsmarting the morons, and I don't mean morons as in everyday people.
Yeah.
I mean, the people trying to rob banks.
Yeah.
You know, they've thought of everything. Like the amount of like
They would have.
You know, and look, you got like you almost get to the point you're like, damn man, respect. Like someone has really thought this shit out. I quickly started like replenishing ATMs, like putting like loads of money
Within
in
the
ATM.
bank?
Yeah, in the bank.
Yeah.
Like with the two.
Yeah.
So like you'd replenish them every day. You'd have to count them, make sure they're all like
Oh
balanced.
shit, manually.
Yeah. Oh, we'd had machines,
Oh,
but like
you're actually taking.
yeah,
this
you're
thing
like.
out.
Like you, there was points where you could hold cash and like it's like tipping out of your hands and shit. Yeah. No, those days are long gone because the banks don't need to store.
Oh.
Cash isn't used like it used to be. You know, we used to have customers coming in with loads of money in and out, and it was just part of. I mean, still to this day, I'm sure there's places that do that, but not the like cash technically isn't illegal. So,
Yeah.
you know, there's no reason why people can't
It'd
do
be
that.
more like a headquarters or the
main banks would have
Yeah.
more things going on, you
Yeah.
know, like safety deposit like we used to have safety deposit boxes, like there was, you know.
Yeah, you had
there's
that
a lot
everywhere
going
in the local.
Yeah, a lot of them have it. I mean, it's pretty stock standard in banking, but dude, if you want to rob a bank, like you're stupid. Like there's like not that I condone anyone stealing anything, but like it ain't smart, man, and like you ain't gonna get rewarded for what you're doing. They're so smart, they plan out how not to have enough to entice you. That's how they move the money. So their idea is if there's not enough here, you're not stupid enough to try to do all this for that little reward.
Yeah, but bank robbers don't know. They think there's millions.
The smart ones do know. You know what I mean? Like they ain't aiming.
Go back to this AK-47. Go to the dumb one. Let me get a dumb story.
So it's Footscray, right?
Yeah.
You know Footscray. I don't have to tell you much about
In
Footscray.
the early 2000s. too, yeah.
Mid to late. So 2008, 2009. Like, you know, I'm leveling up, and this is where like I was always like trying to get the next gig. You know, I was trying to work my way up to.
But you're still behind the teller.
Still a teller, but I got promoted to like now I'm managing ATMs. And I was
yeah.
You know, I'm the ATM dude now. You know what I mean? No extra money, just responsibility.
yeah,
but I felt good.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I think it was like afternoon from what I remember, man. And we had this security guard, God bless him, because he actually had balls to actually move people. He was this Islander man, very nice man. And I don't even know why I was looking out the door, and I was sort of, you know, I took out, picture a big ass bucket,
Yeah.
full of 50s, and I'm holding it. I'm walking. I remember stop, look right. I'm talking to someone at the teller, and I sort of glance over toward the security guard, and there's this guy running at the door with what looks like a gun. It looks automatic rifle, AK, like it looks like something, you know, you've seen a video game or a movie. And you're hearing, like you're hearing someone screaming. And I'm holding a bucket of money, man. I remember, like, I just froze, man. Like, you just, you're, you know, flight or fight, whatever that, you know, my thing was drop, run, bro. It ain't my money. Like, you know, I'm running, dude. And they, look, you know, banks always tell you don't fuck around with that shit, you know what I mean? Like, we should,
that's
you don't risk anyone, nothing.
When I went to a retail store, they're like, don't chase them.
Just let it go, man. Just let it go.
It's just a DVD.
It's just a DVD. Don't let anyone get hurt. Yeah.
Superheroes.
Yeah. Start throwing money at him. Fuck off. And yeah, man, I'm like standing there, and like this security guard just, for whatever reason, his reaction was stop.
Oh, he did his job.
Dude, he just stood in front of this dude, and he just like that. And this guy stopped. And clearly you could tell, like, all right, this guy ain't serious. This is not real. And then he just turned. He was just, honestly, another crackhead on the street. Like, that's what it was.
Yeah.
And I remember I dropped the bucket, and I froze, man. I was like...
I think I would have too.
Yeah, I was like, oh, my God, man. And what's most concerning is that some of the people in the branch were not even shaken by it. They were just like, oh, that's, you know, like that dickhead.
He does this once a month.
Yeah, man, that was welcome to Footscray back then.
Banking.
Yeah, back then, man, when people were scared to go there. I mean, I shouldn't speak badly about Footscray, like it's a great place, but it was a different time.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, if you trained to Footscray and then went to High Point, you could cause yourself some problems. That was that time.
It was that time. Fuck, that's funny.
Yeah, man. That was like...
So he didn't even get in. He didn't get to...
Didn't even walk through the door, dude.
Oh. Just turned around.
Yeah. I just dropped the bucket.
No cops, just turned around.
Nah, man, just get the fuck out of here, bro.
Shit.
Yeah.
That's
I
hilarious.
remember that, man. That was like... Yeah, that was... Yeah, there's a lot of... I mean,
was it just, all right, back to work?
Yeah, carry on, bro. We've got people...
Pick up that bucket.
Dude, there was people in the line just like, hurry up, man. Like,
put a deposit in.
Yeah, the amount of pressure those people... Those, like, dude, man, old school pensioners, like, if you want to see angry old people... Go on a Thursday afternoon pension day when they're using their passports and they're waiting forever. If they get $600 or $602 in that bank account, you know 600's getting withdrawn. They're
straight
like,
away.
Yeah, dude, I ain't saving nothing here, bro. Take that shit. Like that's
the old.
Yeah, there was like
keep your money under your mattress.
Yeah, there was more of those people than like the people that had like stacking money in the bank account. They didn't believe in the system. Like, nah, I don't trust this shit.
Do you remember Dolomite?
I do. CBA?
Yeah.
That's how I think that was either I'm pretty sure it was my first bank account. I mean, like most...
I think everyone's...
Yeah.
It's like
That was smart. Do you know why they did that?
Why?
Because you're more likely to stay at the original bank and you get your home loan, bro. So they thought if they get these kids, man, you start stacking money.
I remember...
we know who we could...
When we first got that, it's like a booklet, yeah?
That was smart.
It was smart. And your mum gives you $2 coins, you put $2 coins.
Learning how to stack money.
I think I started pocketing it like after, when my first time mum put $50 in there, I probably started pocketing it.
Dude, I was always good at like saving money and like figuring out ways to make money when I needed money, but I wouldn't save for the sake of saving. I couldn't just get into the routine of like,
I'm a spender.
Yeah, you still got that shit going. Still going.
Yeah. I've always, I don't know, I tried it so many times, I just like, man, just sitting there doing nothing. But it is now, like when you're growing up, it's like, you can let that money sit and let it grow.
Well, it's a safety net.
Yeah.
You got to see it as a safety net. You got to dip into it when you
But one day it's like, fuck safety, man. Who knows who I could be tomorrow kind of thing.
It's a fine line. There's some people, there's some people that are so fixated on saving, they've got no end goal. If you don't know when it's time to get out and use that money, you've done it wrong as well. Like, so if you're just saving for the sake of saving and you don't know when it's time to take that money and do something with it,
you could not.
It can. It's almost like the same as the spender. It's a psychological. Again, I'm not a psychologist, but I'm going to say it's a psychological problem, right? Either way, it can become a problem where you're overspending to, obviously, cater to some sort of want, need to make yourself feel good. And then the underspending because you're addicted to seeing that. I need to see that thing go up. Like that is the same as the guy that buys the T-shirt because I need that dopamine hit.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
It's
man.
the same thing.
Yeah, I need like it's not going up, bro. Like it's a problem now. Yeah. And again, like you'll see that. Like everyone's different. Everyone has a different relationship.
I mean, you would have seen it a lot in your work.
Yeah, the biggest thing with my work is you'll see different relationships with money, and you start to understand your relationship with money and what it means to you. And one thing I've learned very, very quickly, and especially running a business, once you start running a business, you look at money very differently. You start to kind of treat it very differently. You respect it differently. You value it differently. And you learn that everybody has a completely different value system to it. Like it's your way cannot be everyone's way.
Yeah.
It doesn't work like that because, some people love the thrill of up and down. Like they can't have it any other way. And you can't teach them to go safety net. And then you get other people where if there's no safety net, dude, there's a problem. Like it almost feels like you can feel that they feel like they're getting physically sick, if that makes sense. Yeah. And it's very harsh. Like I'm not trying to be harsh in saying that. It's just an observational thing. When I see it, you can kind of see that. And again, you can help people work through that. You can explain things to them. But I always say everyone has their time to learn certain things. And that's something that
it's up to them to take it how far.
Dude, I've seen some young people, man. Like I thought I was good with money, and then you see some young people, and you're like, damn, man. Like this guy's or this girl or guy's got this going early, man. Like you clicked real young. Like, like you're boom, 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 like real fast. And I'm sitting there going, damn, I'm like 23. How'd you do that? It's impressive.
That just remind me. I remember sitting down once. We were watching Tiger Woods, like when he was like 18, and I think I was like 20 something.
Makes you feel like
and someone's like, it's 18, you know? Look at him winning championships, like, fuck you, man.
Yeah. So, when it always, that hit, like, athletes hit you real quick. Like, there's 19, 20-year-old dudes in the NBA, and you're
earning
like,
millions.
Like, not even the earning, like, you're just like, he looks like a grown man. I'm still not sure if I'm fully there yet, you know what I mean? Like, I'm still unsure if I'm fully grown. Like, does he feel like the way I feel? Because I feel like I've grown up, but like,
does he have that?
Because nothing changed for me. Like, I've learnt a lot more, but I still feel like 23. I'm 33. Like, it doesn't change, you know? So, money's like, to go back to money and finance. I mean, it's interesting. Everyone gets a different thing to it. Some people get intimidated by it. Some people see it as a challenge. Some people straight out see it like Monopoly. They're just like, don't worry about it. I'll lose it all. I'll start again. Yeah. And you like, part of me is like, I kind of like, there's a little bit of me that like, there's a lot of me that admires that. Like people that have that like,
they just know that what money can do kind of thing.
Yeah, and they're just like, they're not scared of it.
And goes.
Nah, it's good. Like it's, but then you see the fall from grace. And it sounds like, I don't give a shit, but then when it starts going backwards and you're like, ooh, you do give a shit. Like there's some, you know what I mean? Like there's those people too where when it starts going and you're like, I can see the fear in your eyes. Yeah, like you should have had that safety net, bro. My personal take, somewhere in the middle. You know, don't be afraid. It doesn't mean crap, I look at it and say my parents came with 200 German marks built to life for their kids. Other side of the planet, no language, Money can't be that valuable. There's more to it.
That's true.
It's not that important. But then if you don't focus on it and you sort of push it away like it's nothing, it gets away from you because it is something. It can open up doorways, to other things in life. I don't believe when people say, the one saying I like is money amplifies who you are. If you're a piece of shit, money will make you a bigger piece of shit. If you're a good person, more money makes you a good person. You can be generous. You can help. You can teach, you can open, you buy time.
Sometimes I get scared having a lot of money. It's like, fuck,
what am I going to do?
Am I going to be an arsehole? You know what I mean?
Nah, I don't think you'd be an arsehole, bro.
But
nah, you wouldn't be an arsehole. You'd be super generous. Like, do you want me to tell you how I think you'd play out?
Go. Just say we won Powerball next week.
How much are we talking? Tell me a number.
$100 million. Because that's the Powerball next week. So.
$100 million, we'd both be on an island somewhere for private jet first.
You wouldn't know I had $100 million. That's another thing. You wouldn't know.
Yeah. I think you do a good job of keeping it to yourself from a lot of people. I mean, I'm sure there'd be people along the way where like I'd probably figure it out pretty quickly.
I still wouldn't tell you. Like I'll rock up to your house with a Ferrari. Like, hey, where'd you get that from? No, don't worry. Don't mind your own business.
It'd take me 33 minutes to work out what the fuck you've done. You wouldn't come to my house for Ferrari. You'd come to my house for Ferrari and a fucking tiger in the back or some shit like that. Like, what the fuck? It wouldn't even be a car, bro. It'd be
right, a fucking tiger in there.
Yeah, it'd be something ridiculous, yeah. I think how it would play out with you, I think you would learn very quickly. You're like, oh, shit, I got to keep this under wraps. Like, there's going to be like...
Because I've seen how money, not change people, it affects other people. People with money affect, like the people around them, it affects them too.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Like I've seen the lingerers,
Yeah, the friends. Everybody's your friend.
The friends, everyone's your cousin.
Yeah.
But when...
I've seen that through a lot of other people.
Not just with money, just in general. Like if you're down and out, no one's around.
Yeah, it's...
But when
the
you're
numbers
out there,
dwindle.
When you're out there partying, it's like, let's go.
You're the life of the party.
Now you want to hang?
You're the life of the party now all of a sudden. Yeah, for sure. It's almost a given. The other thing too with money, it can create a ridiculous, you can get stuck in your own mind, right? $50 million, man. Like, I'm sitting there going, what do I do now? Like, I
like 8,000 in my...
wouldn't you, you'd almost...
I want to know what to do.
I'd almost say give me $2 million every year for 25 years. I'm better off getting a little slowly. I know it's better to have 50 million right now because you can do more with it, invest and all that kind of jazz. But like from a mental health perspective, it would be better to get.
If you gave me that much up front, I'll probably spend half in the first week.
Yeah, I'm going wild real quick. Yeah, me too. I'd have to. Yeah, there'd be bucket list.
Yeah, your bucket list.
$50 million.
You have to limit me.
You'd like to think that you'd help a lot of people. And I've got a lot of family back overseas. I'd have to. There'd be no doubt that I'd have to help.
Yeah.
I mean, not have to. I'd want to help.
Yeah.
There'd be a lot of me that'd be like, all right, what can I like? How do I now?
Yeah, my thing is like,
you'd want to give back.
I definitely want to give back, but I don't want to give up my secret.
Money. You don't have to. Like you wouldn't have to give out. Your secret. Like you wouldn't want to hand. I don't think if you give people money, you can cripple them. Because it's a handout. I think if you give people opportunities, you instead of giving someone $500,000, you can say, look, dude, here's the money to fund the business. Let's go 50-50. Here's a ticket. You got to get on the train and you got to do some shit.
That's how I think of donations. Like I'd rather go and help you instead of
me
take
too.
my money. I don't know where you put that money.
Yeah, same. I have donated, but
same.
In my head, it's like like tax. My time. Like I'll come and help you. Just my time.
That's for the extra tax money.
Instant tax write-off. It's like that. Like I've always said, like you can help people like that. Opening up doorways because there's a lot of people out there. Like not a lot of people. I think most people are extremely talented at something.
Yeah.
I just think the way society is structured, it doesn't allow for certain talents to come to fruition without the perfect environment. And the perfect environment is so hard to find.
Oh yeah.
So if you could, that's a better gift to give someone a chance to be them.
Yeah.
You're into this.
Yeah.
Go.
It's up to you.
Go, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like,
and here's the chance. Like this is a good chance.
It's a good one.
That's your gift. That's how you. I mean, to me, that's how you help people.
Yeah.
Here's $500,000. They're gonna be like, man, fuck you. I don't need your money. Like, there's and to some degree, like you're throwing money at someone like what that solves all my problems. Not really. What's $500,000 going to get you these days?
Yeah.
Not even a house.
Not even a house.
Maybe a townhouse, and then what? You're still angry at work. You know what I mean? Like you're still pissed off at your shit. Because the mental, like,
that's a good way. Good one to do it. Give it an opportunity. Like, all right, here's this. Do what you need to do with it.
Yeah. That's my dream. Like, that's what I've always wanted to do. I've always chased money. To me, like, people, you're into business. Your money. No, not really. Like, I'm pretty like chilled. I don't really. Like, me, I don't really spend, like, I spend, but, like, I'm willing to be like, fuck it, we're going out. Like, woo, like, I'll spend on my friends and, like, my family and, like, when people around me, I'm whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm not really like, that next thing. Like, I've never, the material stuff never really got me too much.
Yeah.
Like, technology got me bad. I'll tell you that much. But, the next graphics card, the 4090, I'm like, I need to get that. But it's nice, man. Like if you can open doorways and help people and point people in the right direction, and
yeah, that's a good one. Opening doors.
Opening doors, let them walk through it, man. Let them walk through it. Let them be them.
Yeah.
That's their life. That's their world. Like that's, and it's like, you know, I can't remember where I heard this, but someone said when you start a business and you get through that torment, you know, that first couple of years, man, where you get through that torment, that torment of what it does to you, the excitement and energy you need to have to get through that is so big, right? And then once you get better at business and you sort of start to understand how things work, you never really want to do that ever again, but you do miss that feeling of excitement. That like thrill to like, I'm fully 150% into this.
Yeah.
This has to work. You know, like there's
no turning back.
I quit my job. I've told everyone I literally have to pack up my bags and leave the country if I fuck this up. You know what I mean? Like that's the desperation level.
I think that's, I guess that's the security of money. Like I wish I had the money to just give myself open my door for myself.
But although that is true, like I did this, right?
Like to quit everything. Like if I had to just say, I had to move to LA for a job, just say I sold everything, and it's just like I don't know if I probably could.
Nah, you could,
but
you need to be desperate. The only way something ever works in life is when you get desperate, especially when it's like. Because when you're desperate, the resilience that comes out of every human when you got no choice but to make something work, it's unbelievable, man.
Yeah, I know.
And I think everybody has that.
And I always realised that I do that on a smaller scale.
Yeah.
And, I haven't been tested on a bigger scale.
Because you haven't had the reason to just be like, fuck it. You haven't been pushed to the cliff yet.
Yeah.
You get pushed to, I remember, maybe I'm like, I won't name names. I was at my last job at the bank, right? Listen to how stupid this idea was. I used to always have business. I always, still to this day, I have so many stupid business ideas that go nowhere because I'm like, what if like you could, like this would be sick. So I'm talking to this guy and I won't name which bank. It was actually quite a good bank to work at, but it was a mind-numbing job, right? I learned a lot, and this bank really gave me the chance to learn what allowed me to start my own business in finance. Like I learned how the process, and at the time I don't think I appreciated it as much as I do now, but looking back on it, I was like, without that there's no chance this works.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there one day and I'm doing this mind-numbing job and it's just boring, man, and I was like so bored. I was listening to docos, like it was putting legal documents together for a bank, right?
Yeah.
And you could put headphones in. So I'm like literally sitting there listening to aliens in space, and I'm making loan documents. I'm listening to like, you know, all sorts of crap.
Yeah.
And I'm talking to my bud, you know, who's now in WA and he's running some other random business. And me and him used to always get sort of lost in thought with like random crap. And one day we were like, how good would it be? Like, you know, when you're having a bad day, I'm like, imagine you quit, like I grab my laptop and I just walk up to the team leader and I just break this shit. Like I just like start cracking this shit all over the place. And I start...
I think everyone has that.
Yeah, you know, and we're like, you know what, let's make a YouTube account. Like people quitting their job, you know, like violent ways to quit your job. So that was like, again, not that was a good idea, but that was like I hate this so much that I'm willing to almost like
create a whole business,
a fake business, just so I can fire myself, so I can work the next thing out. You know, like stupid shit. Just, you know, you're desperate. And I remember at that time, I was borderline in the bank. I'd catch a train home. At that time, obviously my girlfriend, my wife now, you know, I'd catch a train with her, and you know, my hat goes off to Karen because she heard the same shit on repeat every single day. I was so over it, man. It was so hard to get up in the morning. I hated everything. I would get angry at the smallest things in life because I was just sick of it.
Yeah.
And I drove myself to borderline depression. And one day I clicked. And I kind of saw something. I saw the finance world and I saw these people doing brokering and all this kind of stuff. I was like, these people really don't know the job. They're just talking a lot of shit. And I was doing, you know, I was in credit, approving loans, settlements, doc prep, all that kind of crap. And I was learning. And I decided, you know, this would be good. Like, I think I'd be all right at this. I know the job. I can talk to people. And hell, man, as long as I can replace what I'm earning here doing anything else. I was willing to sell ice, not the drug, like physical ice cubes, yeah. I should reiterate that. Not sell drugs, I was selling ice cubes. I thought about selling ice cubes to restaurants, like anything.
Anything to get out.
Get the fuck out. And I just, I was annoying the shit out of my parents. I was like, I hate this. I was thinking about moving overseas, like desperation.
Yeah.
Man. I had no money. I had a mortgage on an investment property that was a piece of crap. It was the shittest investment property a human could buy. I bought it. And
because you could.
Because I was in the bank and someone told me to buy a house, and like it made no sense to me. Like it was just one of those like, yeah, you should do it. I didn't even know what the hell I was doing. Long story short, I quit, and like when I quit, that like holy shit, I've quit. I've told my parents what I'm doing. I've told my friends what I'm doing. What the fuck am I doing? You know what I mean? Like it hits you. You're like,
how long were you at the bank for?
18 to 25, 7 years.
7 years?
Eight,
Same bank?
7.5 years. Nah, 3 different banks, man.
Oh.
Yeah, Majors, Bankwest, NAB, and Westpac.
So it was an easy transfer for each bank? Like,
I
worked at bank. Oh,
yeah, banking world, everyone knows everyone.
Oh, yeah.
Someone's worked everywhere. If you find a person that's worked in one bank for a long time, you're almost like, damn, bro, what happened to you? Like, why? Like, how did you not,
I've always wondered this. How do you own a bank? Can you own a bank? You know how people own JB Hi-Fives?
Yeah, if you have enough money. You've got to get a pool of investors, you've got to get a credit license. There's a process to it, but yes, you can.
Bank, like you own this branch.
Well, these days it's not that hard because digital banks, bro. Pool of money. You need investors. People put in money. You get deposits. You lend out money. You trade shares.
Like just say if I wanted to open a Westpac branch around the corner, I can do that?
Nah, you can't branch. Bank of Queensland, you can buy a branch.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're a franchise model.
Oh.
Yeah, they got franchise models, yeah. Kind of smart business. It's helped them grow quite a lot.
So they franchise their bank to be bought.
I think don't quote me on this, I could be wrong. They either own Citibank Citibank owns them, and Citibank also owns ME Bank.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, there's quite a few of them quite a few banks are owned by banks. Yeah, that's all, it's a very small, intimate world, banking. But obviously it's a very big world, but it's also a very small world. But you can't, to answer your question, yes. You
can.
If you got a credit license and you found enough investors, theoretically, it would not be the most impossible thing to do.
How far do you move up from the bank? So you're from the bank teller, what's the furthest you can go?
Man, there is so many departments in banking,
really?
dude.
What's the head honcho?
CEO.
Our Hefe.
CEO, man.
So CEO of... is he so... Oh, yeah, so he's like CEO of the whole Westpac, like every single one.
Yeah.
What does he do?
Go around throwing around weight. Like, hey, look, there's a lot of, like...
What do they do?
Banking is so intricate and so large. There's no big guy is sitting in an office. There's no big guy sitting.
What they call
it's branches. So you'll have different departments. You'll have different.
Yeah.
You'll have completely different segments of departments that you could almost even say like, your traditional is branch world. You've got third party, which is like brokering, finance world, online sales. You've got direct to bank.
Yeah.
You've got insurances. You've got services. You've got projects. You've got the people that manage the buildings. You've got people that do payroll. You've got IT. There's so many layers to it. And
so there's not like one dude.
Look, there is a guy at the top that makes the last call in the large decisions, but he wouldn't walk into a branch and be like, I'm sick of you shit. You know what I mean? He's not doing that. And if he did, there'd be a board of directors that are like, hey, dude, you're out the fucking door because you can't do that.
A board.
There's a process.
Yeah.
Banking is process. They're from my very limited knowledge of it, because I've only been exposed to certain departments. Yeah. It's all about process, growth, digitalization, and automation in order to cut costs.
Like any type of business.
Yeah, like any type of business. They're out there. They're like a Tesla. They're trying to. Yeah. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Yeah, it's the same thing.
But their product is money.
Correct. They're selling what we all need.
They're selling money.
They're selling the greatest thing that was ever put together.
Who invented money?
Well, I don't know, but the Greeks claim that I don't know if they created economics, but they say
claim?
they did. They claim. I can't I don't know enough to say that I'm sure that that's correct, but I
But
think
I've
that's
heard that
correct.
too.
Yeah, Greeks created economics. Just recently, they to go off topic, Greeks claimed that they created trigonometry, and they found that it was actually there was old writings in Babylon, which is modern day Iraq.
Yeah.
Sculptures of trigonometry. So
Really?
it dates back further than the Greeks.
What is trigonometry?
Trigonometry is mathematical,
Oh.
like it's an equation, like
Yeah,
with
yeah,
triangles.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you've
Yeah,
got
yeah,
two
yeah.
sides, you're
Yeah,
trying to
yeah,
work
yeah.
out a third. So yeah, I mean, just shows you that people make claims to a lot of things,
Yeah.
and you don't know what's right and what's wrong.
I always thought of that. Like, who put the price on the cow? Like, who was the hey, don't take that.
Yeah, I need 2 sheep now. Well, trading, that's
trading.
I mean, trading, economic, I mean, money, it was always used gold, the gold standard. I think it was in again, don't quote me on this, 1971, I believe the US president broke away from the gold standard and said, fuck it, we're making more money and we don't need this gold to, because what they used to do is say, we've got this much gold, and then we just turned it into cash because it's easier to exchange cash instead of exchanging gold.
The gold would stay.
So we had $1 million gold, $1 million cash.
Yeah.
And then after a certain point, they're like, don't worry about it. We're just going to print more of this shit. This is
our gold.
Correct. And then that's how hyperinflation, and this is like now we have inflation, we printed too much money. Now we've got inflation. We made too much, so you're devaluing it, But again, it's very intricate.
Like Pokemon cards.
Yeah, you print enough Charizards, they ain't worth shit. Like that's essentially, if you want to put it in that term, that's exactly what it is, man. They printed too many Charizards, bro. No, everyone's got Charizards, it's no good. If everyone gets rich, it's nothing anymore. You're not rich, which is harsh to say, but that's, I suppose, to some degree, that's the free market of capitalism. Like, give everyone opportunity, but if everyone starts getting rich, we've got to slow that shit down. Right? Then nobody's rich.
Nobody's rich.
Everybody's rich, nobody's rich.
Everyone's got to work.
Yeah.
So 7 years in the bank.
Yeah.
And then straight into
March 25th, 2015, I opened up a company. They told me don't. I said, fuck it. I'm setting myself up for success. I'm not trying none of this
a
ABN
financial
shit.
broker company.
Yeah, man. Mortgage brokering. I was like, all right. And then it was just like, all right, what now? Well, look, I had an idea of what I was going to do and how I was going to target it.
So did you learn brokering from the bank?
Yes.
Or
Yes. I knew how to write a home loan. I knew how to open you an account, what accounts meant, what you needed, credit cards, insurances, what products were available, packages, how to get a home loan approved, what structure the
So
loan
you almost
is.
did that at the bank already?
Yeah, within different segments.
Okay.
So I literally worked every single step of the way and specialised along the way. And
So you learned this section, and it just became...
Once I realised I have the whole thing, I was
Yeah.
like, oh, wait a minute. The guys out there doing that don't understand this because they're asking me questions internally that they should know or that I thought they should know.
So those guys skipped banking.
Yeah.
And they went into...
They were just like,
broker
hey...
school and then went to...
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying like my way was the best way. There was plenty of brokers out there.
But it helped you to do it.
It helped me to do it because it gave me the confidence
Insight.
to know that I was saying what I thought I was saying was correct. I wasn't bullshitting. The phrase "fake it till you make it" sounds good, but when you're dealing with someone's a lot of money, you're dealing with hundreds of thousands of dollars. You can't fake it till you make shit, bro. Because if you stuff up, man, like
that's on you.
they come into your house, bro. Like that's especially
a lot of money, so.
Western suburbs in Melbourne, bro.
Fake AKs.
Yeah, no, people, What's great, dude? What do you mean? You just lost my money. So you got to, like, I mean, that gave me the confidence to actually say, hey, I know what I'm doing here.
Okay.
And there was one particular department, which was credit. It was approving home loans. I got wind of quite a lot of people were submitting applications to a bank and they were just like, here, this person wants a home loan. And I'm like looking at it and my thought was, what? Like, you haven't even looked at this, dude. Like, you're just literally getting someone's paperwork and just saying, let me hand it in for you. It's as good as them walking in and just handing in blindly. And I realized there and then, I was like, okay, don't get me wrong. There were some really good operators. There were some people where I'd seen, I was like, oh, damn, man, this guy writes out everything. He's thought about everything. He's selling this to me. Like, he's so good at reading this. I'm here approving it, and I know he knows more than me.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, it sounds like he knows what he's doing. So I realized, I was like, oh, if you take that kind of approach, it gave me perspective of what the good, the medium, and the good, the average, and the bad did.
Yeah.
And from that, I got confident enough to be like, okay, I think I can do this. Talking to people, being able to give people comfort to say that I know how to do this. I think that probably came off naturally. I could talk. I think I can make people feel comfortable. And I thought, part of me was like, fuck it, man, I have enough friends. Like, that part of me was a bit like that too. And then the other thing was too, like, I literally broke it down. How I convinced myself was, I live in Point Cook. If there's 20,000 homes, if I door knock 150 houses every single day, and I just say, let me just take a look at your mortgage, let me see if I can save you some money, because it's a free service. You don't have to pay me. I can have a look. I can tell you the answer. If I can't help you, I can't help you. But if I can help you, the bank will pay me, and I'll make you save money. I thought it was the ultimate transaction, because ultimately, what do you got to lose? Nothing.
Yeah. Exactly.
You literally have nothing to lose.
Yeah.
You don't know. I mean, most people don't give a shit about banking. You're not looking at what when you're thinking about home loans, you look at rates. As soon as that part passes, you're done, dude.
Yeah.
Most people just don't give a crap. There's too much information. There's too much lingo. There's too many changes for the average person to be able to look at that and go, "What the hell am I looking at here?"
Yeah, me.
No, I mean most people, man. Like,
yeah.
and it's there's just too much to it. There's too many variables. So my thought process was, I'll go in. If I door knock 150 people, I don't need referrals. I don't need online presence. I don't need marketing. I can literally just knock on doors. And it's Point Cook. I'm a local. I just say I'm a local. And if 150 people say no, they say no. I'll go back and do it again tomorrow. And my thought process was, if I knock on enough doors, I'm going to inevitably get in front of people, because all I needed was 1 or 2 people a month. The income was good. So you get enough, you can get in 1 or 2 a month. I've replaced my banking job. And I'm like, I'd rather be outside knocking on doors in the sunshine than sitting in this piece of shit office where I hate my life and I'm depressed, right? And that's how I convinced myself. It was as simple as that. Go door knocking. And I did, man. I was door knocking, letterbox dropping. The amount of people I begged for work, the amount of people that I asked and didn't help me or didn't give me a chance, the amount of accountants that I went to, the amount of financial planners, real estate agents, the amount of...
Because it's hard because you're new.
Dude, I went to everyone. I asked... If there was a human, I asked them. If I knew you, I asked you for your mortgage. Yeah. And I tried not to be abrupt about it. I tried to be respectful. But my philosophy was, if I don't ask, man, I'm not going to know.
Yeah.
And if I don't say anything, most people aren't going to think about it. And they're not going to be like, hey, man, you're a mortgage broker, here's my thing. Now, you're going to have your friends that come along the way, like your close friends that are like, nah, dude, take my stuff, right? But you can only count on that for so long. Yeah. There's not much in that. There's not many, like, there's only a certain number of close friends that are like, I don't even care what it is. Like, there was a good group of my friends, I mean, obviously some of our friends, you obviously know them, that were just like, I don't even care what it is, dude. Just take it. And even if I'm paying more on my mortgage, just fucking take it, Those people, to me, those day oneers, as we call them, that was everything, man. Because to me, that was like, you gave me a lifeline to get going. This gives me
open door.
Correct. This is my 4 weeks, and I better go knock on those doors. You gave me 4 weeks because you've given me this income. I got to now work my fucking ass off to the next person.
Not just for yourself, but for you. Like, you gave me
a chance. Yeah. I owe it to you to make this work. Yeah, that's right. You know what I mean? Because tomorrow, when you need more from me, I better, I better know what the fuck's going on, and I better help you. Yeah. I better be able to be in a position to help you out because you helped me out. Yeah. And I genuinely believe that's the way of the world. You got to give to get. That's and sometimes people come along the way and they're just like, here. So I literally, if in the western suburbs, if there's an accountant, a real estate agent, financial planner, I promise you I walk through their doors. That I would just walk straight in. Can I speak to a director? This is what I'm doing. Here's my cards. And my philosophy was like, I was a bit cheeky about it because I was like, I used to say to people, and it's funny because, I mean, once you become experienced, you're like, that's probably not the smartest way to do it, but it kind of worked at the start because I was like, you have these other brokers who are probably going home at 5 o'clock. I'm prepared to work 24/7. Right? Now, that's not going to last forever. But while it lasts, you should give me your referrals because there's going to be a small window of opportunity where I'm going to be working harder than anybody to do this. And I lived that. I remember I was doing home loans. I was sitting in a little office with Bobby, who became a business partner afterwards. He was doing another company. I was sitting in his office, dude. It was 3:30 a.m. and it was fucking freezing off Boundary Road in Alto, like in a literally sheds, man. Yeah. I was sitting on a little freaking laptop and 3:30 a.m. I remember I was trying to figure out, I was reading financials and trying to do a refinance. the biggest refinance I had at that time was like quite a lot of money. I could save them a lot, and I was trying to work out how to read these financials just to make sure. I was like, I better be, I'm sure, but I better be 100% sure. You know what I mean? Like, because what happens is you're so freaked out that even the stuff that you do know, now all of a sudden you're questioning whether you know it or not. Because you're freaking out. You're freaking out, like a desperation. And I went home at 4 a.m. and Bobby slept in the office. That's how desperate we were to make this work.
Yeah.
The amount of times I caught myself in a car, because people told me, I'll meet you at the office, meet me here at 8 o'clock at night, and they just don't show up. I remember vividly an accountant in Altona stood me up like 4 or 5 times, didn't show up to the office. I remember going to my car, driving to the beach and literally crying by myself.
Fuck.
Just because you don't, like, what are you going to do, man? Like, you're just like, I need to make this work, and these people just will not help me, and it's not that they have to help me or they're, I hold nothing against these people. I understand now, but at that time. This was all that I wanted.
Yeah, you weren't going back to the bank.
No, my thought process was this. I have to make something out of myself, or my whole life I'm going to be a failure. I failed at soccer. I failed at school. I failed at basketball. I failed at getting to university. I failed in my banking gigs. I failed every single thing I ever tried. I was good. I was good enough. Yeah. But I was never great.
Yeah.
And I was just... I can't fail this, man. I can't. Like, it's everybody knows I can't. This has to work. It has to work. Desperation off the cliff. And surely enough, it starts to catch traction, and you start to get better, and people start to get, it was always straightforward. If you do a good job, people are going to give your number out. If you help people, if you find a way to actually help someone, they will reward you. Humans are unbelievable. If we're good, when we're good to each other, humans will be good to you instinctively. You don't even have to speak the same language. Humans will help you. It's weird. It's not weird. It's great.
It's an energy thing.
Yeah,
I get that.
They get that vibe. Yeah. Like, I'm here. I promise you, I'm not a loan shark. I'm not trying to scam you. I'm not trying to scam. I'm legit looking at this for free for you. If it works, I will tell you. If it doesn't, thank you very much, sir, for your time. And I'm out the door. No problem.
And especially in that industry.
Yeah, because it's filled with, what do you think when you think bankers, man? That's, like, let's be real. Like, that's what most everyday people think. So I was blown away by that, but I believed in that. I was like, if you do good and you help people, good things will find you. And luck found me, man. I got so lucky so many times. Good things, people joined, Bobby joined, a couple of my friends from banking joined, and it just started to grow rapidly. I used to write goals every year about where I'm going to be in life and what I want to do.
Yeah.
And I used to have yearly goals, 3 yearly goals, 5 yearly goals, 10 yearly goals. What I used to write, I used to believe, but deep down I was like, oh man, I don't know if I could get there, man. It's going to be tough. Yeah. And I did. A lot of the times I would get there, but it's funny because I actually still have those. I collect every single piece of paper. 1st of January every year or 2nd of Jan, I write it out, pen and paper. I write out what I'm going to do. It's a contract to me, and I sign it every year. I got every single.
That's a good idea. I've heard that somewhere.
You got to write things down, man. You promise yourself some shit because we all humans. We all say, I swear to God, like I'm gonna write that shit down, man. Promise when you make a contract with yourself, dude. Yeah. Because you'll do that in desperation and want to. There's something, that happens where you go chasing for something, and if you really, really want it, you get desperate, man. You start praying. You start, like legit, dude. I'm praying to the universe, to the gods, to Jesus, to everybody.
Whoever wants
to listen right now, man. I'm like that. That was my thought. I would talk in the car. If people saw me in the car, they'd be like, this guy's nuts. I'd be sitting in the car going, man, please help me out. I got to get through this. This has to work. This has to go through. And that pressure cooker, like it gets full on, man. And you can burn out and you can do some serious brain damage. You can, man. You can really hurt yourself, if you go too far down that road of desperation, because that anxiety builds up, that pressure, can continue to build and mount, and it can get away from you a little bit, but you can hold it and you can fix things and you can get on top of things. And next thing you know, it's like
that. Signing a contract is it's very
big one. I live by that, dude. I write everything.
I was thinking to myself, can I do it?
Of course you can.
Of course you can, but fuck.
Do you know what it is? Do you know why you don't want to write the piece of paper? Because you're scared of disappointment
myself.
And when you get to that point where you're like, this has to work, you don't even care about disappointing yourself because you've disappointed everyone else.
It's fine. Yeah.
So you don't give a shit anymore. You're like, fuck it.
Shit.
This is
happening.
Yourself? This is happening, man. But you know, it's powerful. I do that every year. You know, I like to write. I have my to-do list on a computer, and I have my work, like my handwritten to-do list. But that contract with me is like, I'll live and die by that.
Fuck.
And as things change in my life, you know, and I implement. It's not.
I think I might do that.
Yeah. Don't take it as I need to make this much money.
No.
It's not a. It's you know, I would tackle health, what I want to buy, who I want to be.
Yeah,
you know,
that's what I'm thinking.
Who am I? Who you know? When you're
not necessarily who do I want to be, like how do you say, like a promise to yourself, like don't be a dickhead.
Yeah, well, it's
not that simple,
but sometimes that's simple.
Sometimes that's simple.
Be a better person, or read books. I'm going to try and make an effort to do this. I'm going to do that because of X, Y, Z. You know, the biggest thing you know, one thing I realized about myself once I got to that point at 25 was that I started to realize that my whole life I've been a reflective kind of person. I think about things. I think, what you realize after realizing that is that you're not the only one. Everybody is doing that. Everybody is self-critical. Everybody feels horrible about themselves. Everybody's doubting themselves. Yep. Some of us just learn to pretend and confidently shake it off. Like, I'm the shit.
Me.
Yeah, like nothing's going on in here.
Nothing's going on.
Bullshit.
I'm fucking dying.
Bullshit, bro. Everybody's melting inside, bro. Everybody. Joe Biden, Trump, freaking Elon Musk, Joe Rogan. We all got psychological problems. We're all dealing with growth. We're all really a bunch of babies that have grown up, and we have no idea what the fuck is going on, and we're winging life, right? To some degree. Some grasp it a little bit better and earlier, and there's different time frames to it, but majority of us are like that. And I realized that when I was younger, like at 25, 26, it was okay to reflect like that, but you couldn't get stuck in that hole of reflection. And when you, after reflecting, you got to do something about that reflection. Yeah. You can't just be like, I'm reflecting. You can
learn from it.
Yeah, you got to smell the roses. You got to know when to stop and appreciate what you have, and then you got to also understand to look back and be like, all right, this is what I did. These are the mistakes. You know, the jobs that I had didn't work out because I expected this, I did this, and this is the result I got, and this was my reaction to it. That's the most important part, the reaction to it. You know, I didn't get this, so I became bitter.
Yeah.
Right, and you can recognize your reactions. So I started to learn that, like, okay, in order for that not to happen again, next time this happens, what do I need to do to put myself in a position to not react like that again? Because if I react like that, it's bad.
Yeah.
Right? And you get bitter and angry, and then it all goes to shit, right?
Yeah, and it's easy to go back to normal because it's just...
It's what you're used to. That's your reaction.
Yeah.
It's easier to blame the world than to say, I fucked up.
Yeah.
You know? It's ScoMo's fault. Right? It's Dan Andrews' fault. Yeah, and his fault, bro. It's your fault. It's your fault, bro. Nah, but like, legit, like, and I'm not too self-critical, but I learned that if I talk to myself, and I do have this, tendency to talk to myself and talk myself through mistakes, and I'm like, dude, what are you doing, man? Like, like, don't do that shit. Like, there's a lot of things I've done that with, and I'm sure you do too. I'm sure Karen does. I'm sure everybody does. And then what I sort of started doing was taking these little notes down. So I'd have all these little notes, and when it come time to write out my goals, I would look back at like
taking action. Like, you can just think about it, but it's hard to just keep it in your mind.
Because you don't write it down, dude. You got to have a contract with yourself, man. I write my shit down. I promise me I'm doing this, and you're not going to always get it right. But what you promise yourself is, man, dude, it could be like, in the last 2 weeks, my head has been triggered by, something that I've done that's made me go, oh yeah, wait, at the start of the year, you said you weren't going to do that shit.
Yeah.
And you were going to work on this and look at the progress you've made. Oh, it's not quite enough, as you didn't do as well in this category. You kind of stuffed this one up a little bit. So now I'm like, within a week, I'm instantly changing things because I'm like, oh, no, I owe me for 3 months now. I have to get to the end of this year, and I can look back at this year and go, right, I got it wrong for 9 months, but I got it right for 3 months.
Yeah.
Right? If that wasn't if I didn't write that down, that doesn't happen to me, right? That's how I am. That contract does a lot.
I'm going to do one.
Do one, man. And don't sit, like, I did New Year's because that was like when, so the reason I did New Year's, it wasn't a cliche. I really don't like that it's New Year's. I wanted mine to be like September or like random. I don't like this concept of like the
New Year, New Me.
Yeah, it's rubbish, man. There's no such thing as New You. It's just working you forever. Like it's just a work in progress.
It's growing
you. Yeah, 100%. There's no New You. It's the same shit. You're just working on it. But the reason I did it was because that was when I'm going to quit my job. And it was like December-ish when I decided, and March was like, I was like finishing up, saving some money. And in January, I was like, that's it. I'm fucking doing this. This is a contract with me. And then in March, I quit my fucking job and started a company. You know, like, so that contract was like, dude, you wrote yourself a contract. You said you were doing this. Do it. You know, no more backing out.
No more backing out.
No more backing out, man. No more changes.
Yeah.
And now, you know, and don't get me wrong, like, I think some people have this idea that, like, you're gonna hate these jobs, and then one day you're gonna be like, fuck it, I'm doing this thing, and you've solved all your problems. Or like this one job or this company, like, now I'm gonna grow and I'm gonna be rich and I'm gonna feel good. That's bullshit too. What I'm realizing now, running a company for 7.5 years, is that, like, you start to question. Right, I'm a bit more aware now. I don't let myself get bitter. So I don't get myself to the point where I'm like hating my life, right? But I recognize when I'm becoming a little bit like, okay, I need to disconnect from this just a little bit, and I need to find other things that I'm into and that are fun to get that spark back again.
Yes.
Or happiness, to get my spring in my step back, so then I can get back into the zone of, you know, discipline, to be able to have a reason to be like, dude, I'm going to bed and I'm waking up. That doesn't stay. You don't master that and be like, that's it, I've won. Again, my hat goes off to the people that do. If you can do that, then fuck, man, like, well done. For me, I don't know if that's possible. So for me, it's like, you got to constantly keep working on things, and you got to keep finding things that can get your excitement in life back, because that will kind of propel, like, work is not just, your podcast called work is work, right? To me, work is not work is just what I'm doing through my life, because ultimately when I'm 70, my job ain't going to exist, right? No one's going to be sitting here saying, Vinny, let me process your pay slips so you can get a home loan. That shit ain't going to be real. You're going to click a button and bang, there's a house, you know what I mean, in VR land or God knows where. Banking, telejobs, they don't exist, dude. They're already gone. The big W stacking shelves, I'm pretty sure in Japan and Korea, they got freaking robots doing it already. Look at Amazon's factory, right? That's happening in our lifetime. So to me, work is just what I'm doing to get by until I'm gone. When you start looking at it like that, it has to be fun. And when it stops being fun, then you're going to go nuts.
With my current jobs, I would say I probably numb myself, clock in, clock off. And I guess I've always been, I knew I'm a creative mind, always got these creative ideas, and I think this podcast might be an outlet to that. It's not something I'll probably continue doing forever. It might be, but I think it's the start of putting my foot in there.
To do something.
And it was an opportunity that happened, like a door opened, literally.
Well, I think it was interesting because, like, the concept of sitting here, like, we talk a lot, we're close friends, you know, me and you talk a lot. There's not many friends in the world that, like, we go deep. We've had our sessions of hours. Like, we could do this for like 8 hours. Like, forget that that's even there. That's not even a problem. But I think it's like, this is interesting. Like, to me, it's like, it's fascinating that you can sit here, look each other in the eye. We haven't looked at our phones.
I know.
I don't even know where my phone is right now.
Oh, mine's recording.
I forgot that that's a phone. You know, so I can, like, it's interesting, this concept of, you know, just conversating, talking. You know, you learn about each other, and you can sort of, you can go very deep, you know. It'd be interesting for you once you start to speak to more and more people that, you know, where it's a blank canvas. I mean, suppose with me, you know a lot about me already, but it's going to be interesting where you're going to, you know, your perspective with humans. You know, I get a perspective of finance. That's just one little element of a human life. You know, it's important, but it ain't that important. once you start diving into this and you're talking more and more, your perspective of humans is going to be very fascinating.
Yeah.
You could write a book.
I could write a
about what you've learned about humans. You know?
I'll put that in my contract.
Yeah, why not?
Write a book.
Why not, man?
Yeah, I know.
You know?
Yeah, that's why I'm doing it. It's good.
Yeah.
I think I need to be creating. It runs in our family.
I think creativity is, unfortunately, in the society that we live in and the way economics is structured with money, creative people are not put in like I said earlier in the podcast, you're put in a situation where a lot has to go right for the right sort of thing for the flower to bloom, so to say. Not saying it's impossible. A lot of people break through, and I think we as humans, it's interesting because no matter how much they try to kill, not when I say they try to kill, no matter how much society sort of is busy and no matter what's going on in life, creativity is always fascinating to humans. Like, you don't have to be into art and you can just look at something and go, holy shit, what is that? Like, it instantly drawn. Like, look at us as humans. You see, like, you go to the Swiss Alps or any terrain and you're just like, whoa, why is that, you know? Look at these flowers or trees. Like, we're so drawn to, you know, creativity and all sorts of, like, that's obviously nature's creativity. And then you've got human creativity. And we're very drawn to it no matter what. Like, I think a lot more people have creativity in them than we realise. I just think society doesn't allow it to bloom.
Bloom.
Yeah, which is a shame, but I think we're getting there.
We're getting there.
We're changing as a society, right?
Yeah,
we're
for sure.
Yeah,
we're not YouTubers.
Yeah, I mean, do you even watch TV anymore? When was the last time you watched Channel 7?
Fuck.
Dude, I don't turn the TV on, man.
Yeah,
I'm just listening to people talk. I'm listening to artists. I'm listening to random new people, you know? Yeah. I've got my staples, but...
Yeah. It's true.
Yeah, that's how much we're dying for creativity.
True.
You know? We're sick of that shit. The whole generation of people are like, I ain't listening to that, man.
Yeah.
I got my music. I got my artist. I got my, like, you know? We want something different.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Fuck. That was...
How long's that been? What is it?
An hour.
An hour?
Yeah.
Damn, man, that's gone quick.
Let's just quickly review.
Okay.
Big W started this whole thing. Fucking hell.
All this from Big W.
All this from Big W.
Yeah, where'd you start?
Been banking for 7 years.
Yes.
And you've owned your company for the last...
7.5 years as well.
7.5 years. And that's financial broking. So you
For now.
help people get loans.
I help people buy houses and save money. And,
Okay.
yeah, that's, you know, that
From
was,
buying property.
Yeah, okay. You know, that was the philosophy with it.
Future plans? That's it?
No,
it's never it.
Dude, man, finance ain't. Yeah.
Did you have a dream job growing up?
Dream job, make it to the NBA, bro.
I swear, I found a yearbook in, I think it was grade 5. It said in 2020 or something, I'll be playing for either Chicago Bulls or the LA Lakers.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
I was working at the DVD store.
I wish my parents told me, dude, you ain't gonna do shit. I wish they were a bit more brutal. You know what's funny? My parents were so brutal in every other facet of my life. They never wanted to crumble my sporting dreams.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were so soft on that, but harsh on everything else. They should have just told me.
Yeah, I wish my parents knew that you can get financially paid playing basketball. Yeah, so they can be like more invested. So to them, it was just like, I think playing with the boys.
Well,
you know?
remember the world we live in changed. You know, the access to information. The parents only had limited amount of knowledge.
Schools as well, sports schools and stuff like that.
I think the idea of success has completely been flipped on its head in this generation.
Yeah, it's not a 9 to 5 for 30 years.
It's not even close anymore, man. No. I mean, that's almost the idea of sadness. Right? Yeah. It is. You know, we run. Our whole generation is like, nope.
Yeah.
I'll do it, but I ain't doing that shit forever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'll sacrifice for as long as I need to, but I'm not doing it.
The last generation is the one before us.
Yeah. The kind of, you know... And
it's
not, look, don't get me wrong. I think
there's nothing wrong with hard work.
I've met some people that like make that work and they understand the transaction.
Dude, I only made it work because I see my dad make it work.
Yeah, you can make it work. Like
which is fine.
Running a business.
He got a house out of it. He looked after his family out of it. Like,
do do you know what you take? What I used to take for granted throughout my whole life? I took for granted, dude. You get to go home a Friday afternoon and just forget.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time I
switched off.
Yeah, man.
Like properly switched off.
I've never switched off.
That comes with owning your own business. You never switch off,
you never
right?
switch off, yeah.
Because you're
constantly
always thinking you could crumble tomorrow.
There's something going on, and if you don't stay
on top,
you will fall. No, it's not even a maybe. You will fall.
You will fall. And it's not just you; it's your staff.
The consequences,
not just yours, like yourself. It's your staff. It's
correct. Other people relying on you to make decisions for them, to keep things going for them. You know, you realise you're like, damn, these people expect me to have all this money in this bank account to pay them. If I fuck this up, they won't even know that they're going under. You know, not going under, but you know, the consequences are large, and you know, the pressure is big. The rewards are good. I think, you know, you do get a lot of human reward more than a monetary reward.
Yeah.
But yeah, the pressure is legit, man. You know, I have a very, very high level of respect for people who can handle, you know, any kind of pressure. I always say pressure is the same. You know, whether you're a nurse, whether you're a forklift driver, whether you're whatever it is that you do in life, pressure is legit. You know, as I get older, you know, understanding the pressure of a business, and then I just think to myself, man, like these people have like had these jobs for X amount of time, this kind of responsibility, this kind of pace. Then they had a family, then they had grandkids.
Yeah.
Dude, like that's keeping it together, man. Yeah. Like just not buckling and like exploding.
Yeah.
You know,
waking up same time.
Respect.
Get in there. Yeah.
So I don't complain because I'm like, I chose this.
Yeah.
But also too, like it's a job. Like it's a company. Yeah, it's real world pressure and there's a lot riding on it, but I don't have kids. So like, you know, that could be even more pressure. Well, not could be. It is more pressure, you know. So I think I just have a I think I have a higher appreciation for people who are going through life because I'm realizing like these people didn't have answers, man. They got to wing it.
No one's got answers.
No one knows.
No one knows.
It's just, no one's got answers. Some people just fake it better than others in terms of what, you know, winging it. And some people understand money better. Some people understand life better. Some people understand raising kids better. They get it faster. There's different skills to all of us. But ultimately, I genuinely believe that most people, I'm not sure. I'm not as sure as they make out to be.
Yeah, for sure. That's for sure.
Yeah, and that's, you know, you start to come to peace with it. You're like,
it's like, cool. I'm not alone.
Like that. It's comforting to go, we're all a bit lost, man. Like, you know, humans everywhere in the world, man, it's the same trait. We're all kind of like, what the fuck is going on here? Yeah, like, it's true. Yeah,
it's true.
You know, the Western world's looking over there and the East going, ooh, and they're looking at us going, oh my God. You know, like, it's the same thing, man. Same thing. We're all the same.
So, that's not the end. Financial broking.
Nah, man. Finance was something that I seemed to walk into, literally walked into a bank and got, you know, walked through a job. I seemed to grasp it pretty quickly, build relationships with people pretty quickly. I've always wanted to, I am already getting into property development.
That's the next move?
Yep, 100%. I mean, it's already happening. There's, you know, cosmetic business is interesting. You know, my wife's in beauty.
Yeah,
I've learned a lot about, you know, that
moisturizer,
moisturizer, brother. You know, these people like to buy that stuff.
I know, a lot of money in there.
Oh, look, it's a very hard industry in terms of it's a competitive industry from what I can see. I don't know anything about that, you know, yet, but I've always liked that. It's fascinating. You know, I'm a kind of person I get.
Well, it's totally different from.
Well, finance is just numbers.
Yeah.
You know, I seem to grasp numbers relatively well.
This is more.
But like you talking about creativity, you know, like if you ask me, man, what I should have been, I probably should have been, you know, I should have been announcing NBA games or something like. There's something where there's those things where when I sit there, I'm just like, yeah, man, I'm 1,000,000% in it.
Yeah.
But along the way, I've learned that like there's other things that intrigue me. There's other things that I'm into. And I like to learn, you know, like when we were talking about, you know, when you said, should high school kids have a job? You know, if you look at that question, you say to yourself, why the fuck are we even asking ourselves at the age of 15, 16, what we're going to do for the rest of their life? That's my question. Yeah. Like in terms of like, we should be working at that young age because we're stupid. We should be learning how to work.
Yeah.
Right. To put in effort. But don't ask me at 17, what do you want to do with the rest of your life? How the hell do I know? I don't know. I have no fucking idea. And if you promise, I promise you, man, like, I'm going to say that if anyone can really answer that question at 17, I'm probably going to say you're full of shit. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. I'm sure there is those people.
There are,
one
but
in
it's one in the
million that are like, I'm like Kobe Bryant at 13, I'm doing this. Like, all right, dude. Sure. Fair enough. But majority of us, I highly doubt it.
Yeah.
It's influential decision making. You've got your parents on top of your back, you got teachers, you're good at this, they're saying you should probably go in this direction. What I always thought is you should be going to university or studying your profession when you're 25 to 30. Yeah. Because that's the only real time that you can actually start to focus on something and say,
realize
I'm into this.
Yeah.
Because if you ask me now, like if you gave me just, let's pause the world, here's 4 years to study, I'll be like, all right, let me think about this. But if I study something, I'm probably going to dive deep into this. Right?
Now.
Same as you. Right?
Yeah.
And this has got nothing to do with your enter score or ATAR score, anything to do with that crap. This is, I can now focus because I understand what it is to actually get interested in something.
You understand that if you put the work in.
Well, if I'm the only things that you like look at now is the actual things that you're interested in. Like I enjoy learning. I look at, you know, when I learn about people's jobs or something, when I go to someone's work, I'm constantly looking at, like when you brought this machine in, I was like, what, you know, I'm like anyone, well, what the fuck? What are these buttons? Like we're all like that, right? Naturally, we're going to start getting drawn to like, what's going on here? You're going to have a curiosity about you as a human. And I think once you really start to understand your curiosity and how far it can go, now at some point I'm going to stop caring about this machine. But the other thing, sometimes I get stuck deep in thought about random shit that's got nothing to do with me. You know, and I don't let that get ahead of itself because I've got a job, I've got a company, and I need to focus, and I know how to disconnect myself. But I'm kind of learning now. I'm like, oh, my creative side could be anything. Like I could be into things that I'm not even sure that I'm into. So yeah, I probably could, you know, at 25, I think you could be studying and really focused and, you know, and learning a lot. I think you could learn better. Whereas at 15, like you kind of should be in Big W.
Still growing.
Just working and shit. You're growing and you're forever growing, you know. So what's next for me? I'm not 100% sure. I have a lot of fascination with a lot of different industries. You know, I like to learn, but I like to take my time to really get into it, learn it, understand it. But do I think finance is the definition of my life? Banking? No, absolutely not. I think there's a lot more.
But that era's finished? Going to finish?
At some point, yeah. I think at some point I'll be out the door. It'll probably be when that feeling, you know, when that feeling sinks in, when you go,
that's it.
Remember when I was at the bank?
Yeah.
I said, fuck this shit. I got to the point of bitter.
Yeah.
If I sense that I'm approaching bitter, I'm out the door.
Yeah.
And this was part of my contract to say, next time, don't, you know, this is part of your thing.
Yeah.
You are not allowed to get to that point again.
Yeah.
Because
it's not fair on yourself.
It's not fair on me. It's not fair on the people around me. And it's not fair on the company that you're working for, because ultimately I'm disconnected. I don't like this. I'm being bitter. I'm being a sook, ultimately. And I'm being pissy because something didn't work in my favour for whatever reason, whether it's their fault or my fault. And it's time to go. You got to know when it's your time to go. So when I start sensing that feeling creeping in, and I'm, you know, I want to get out the door,
I'm out.
I'm out, man. And I won't hesitate to walk out if it's time for me. Because to me, your life is just work is work, right? It just simply is work. It's just what we do until we get old.
Yeah.
But once you come to the realization that you're going to die, you're going to get old like everyone else, and ultimately what you did 30, 40 years ago, it's not going to matter as much as it's not going to matter anywhere near as much as the pressure that you put on yourself today.
To get it done.
Now, if you're a doctor and someone's life is in your hands, fair enough, right? You know, to some degree, every job is important, but slow down, you know.
Is that the biggest lesson throughout the whole thing? Just slow down?
Yeah, man. For me personally, I race. Look, it's hard for me to slow down. Since you've known me, I've been telling you to tell me for me to tell me to slow down. I've been saying the same shit on repeat forever. Yeah. I'm highly strung, highly wired. I get super into things. I love to dive into things. I like to work on Sunday morning because I feel like I'm doing things while other people aren't. But I am getting better at slowing down. And I think it's important because you give yourself a little bit of a perspective and you give yourself a chance to smell the roses. Yeah. You get a chance to appreciate. Because life is happening now. This here. This is my life right now. There's nothing else that's happening than this. And this is just as important as anything else. And when you appreciate what's happening, I think you come to a bit more peace about other things, you know? So reminding myself of that.
Gets more simpler.
Yeah. Reminding myself to just enjoy life, man. Life is to be lived. You know,
it's very true.
It's going quick, dude. Man, I'm 34 next year.
You work to live, not live to work.
100%. You know, and you can save money with that philosophy too. You know?
No, you can't.
No, you can't. Yes, you can. Of course, you can, man.
You definitely can.
You can plan for a rainy day. You can invest your money. You can save your pennies. You can buy the fucking car, and you can live your fucking life.
Yeah, you can.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
you the one who chooses.
You can, dude. Yeah. You really, really can. I'm probably a walking testament of that, man.
All right, man. Yeah. So I have a final question.
Go for it.
That I ask all my guys and girls, whatever. If you had a choice of being an employee or an employer, but the pay rate was the same, which one would it be?
Employer.
The boss.
The boss. Not the boss, but the boss.
Yeah, the boss.
Not an ego thing. I enjoy the flexibility of choosing my life. I don't shy away from work. I work, today I work 3 or 4 hours on the computer, business planning for a separate side business, calculating numbers. That shit is fun for me, man.
Yeah.
I love business. I like growing. I like the idea of growth. I like listening.
I never thought about that actually. When I think an employer, I just think like staff members, but you can just be your own boss.
Delegating work.
To yourself?
Yeah. Dude, I delegate myself work and other people work. That's part of it. You could give yourself like, I'm doing this down, you need to get this done. Yeah. I would choose that because I enjoy the flexibility of being able to keep myself accountable. I like the fact that I get to say, you know what, tonight, it's Tuesday, I'm watching this movie, it's 1 a.m, I don't give a shit. If I wake up tomorrow at 8 o'clock, 7:30, 8:45, I'm choosing that. Yeah. Now, do I have to? If I wake up at 8:45, am I very aware that I might have to stay back and finish some extra work because I slept in? I am, but I'm all right with that too. It doesn't faze me. I don't want to run away from it.
Some days I feel like I can just want to clock in and clock off. And some days I wouldn't mind firing someone.
Nah, bro, that's the worst feeling in the world.
Oh, you fired someone before?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I think you've told me this before.
Which one are you referring to?
You fired many people.
In different spots.
But it wasn't your choice, was it? It was like, hey, can you fire that person? Was it more that?
No. It was my choice. Like, people. No, I've never done it in like a negative way. It's always been like it's time to go. Something didn't work out. It just didn't work out. It was like
it wasn't like you stole money.
Nah. I've seen other people get fired for that in banking for stealing money.
Stupid, right?
Again, same place as the gun, different kettle. So I got a lot of stories, but like I've had to tell people to part ways. Like there's different kind of things, but never like, hey, dude, this person's not good enough. Get the fuck out. Like none of that shit.
I think you can't get fired.
I don't. That would be horrible, man. Like. Damn, like because people, people go through shit. You're rocking someone's life. Like I don't. That ain't fun. That's something.
That's why,
I don't think you'd want to do that.
Talking about that, at work, like I'll see unsafe stuff, and I can tell on you, and you be gone the next day. But I'm like, this cunt's got a family, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna ruin this guy's life, man. That's the western suburb in you, bro. Don't say shit, man. I've seen so much shit. I'm just like, just shut the fuck up.
Just shut the fuck up.
It's a job to shut up, But to be an employer because I get to. I've in my life
sort of more control.
Yeah, I love the fact that my weekend time can be, when I say work or me, it's the same thing. Yeah, it's all blended. I can go to the gym when I want to. Not that I often go because I've got a gym membership every year, but I don't go very fucking often. choice, man. Choice.
choice.
That's something that I hold very dearly.
Yeah, you're right. Because
Choice.
if you're an employer, you still have to wake up that certain time. You have to finish at a certain time too.
But that's changing. That's changing.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think there's a lot of people like, you know, I'm always, man, get your work done, dude. Whether you come at 8:30, 9 o'clock, I don't give a shit. If you're running late and it's 9:30, just get your work done. Show me that you're working hard. I couldn't care less.
It's still...
Again, pending on where,
Yeah,
but it's
it is.
It's changing, man, and it's changing for the better because ultimately we're all humans, man. We're all trying to do good. No one's trying to burn you. No one's trying to fuck you up. Like, yes, there's people trying to fuck you up, but I'm saying like when you work with people, you get close to people.
Yeah.
You're with them every day. Like you eat together, you hang out together. Like they ain't trying to ruin your shit, man.
Yeah.
You know, they could just be having a rough time too.
Yeah, that's it.
You know, you got to be a human at the end of the day. If you do that, I think things work out well.
Yeah.
If you become a bit like, hey, you know, you're 3 minutes fucking, you went to the toilet, like, what? What do you mean, dude? You went to the toilet, leave him alone. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, like, if you're like, what kind
Those
of
guys
shit is
are
that?
phasing out.
Oh, they're fucked.
Yeah.
They're gone. And so they should be.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell kind of crap was that?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, man.
All right, man. Thank you very much.
Nah, bro, my
I
pleasure.
don't think I said much, but
I spoke a lot.
you
My
spoke
bad.
a lot.
Normal.
It's all right. It's normal.
It's normal.
All right, thank you very much.
Bro,
And
my pleasure, bro. Of
thank you, whoever's listening. I hope people fucking listen.
course they're going to fucking listen,
Better
bro.
fucking
They
listen.
They will listen, bro.
Yeah,
Write that contract, bro.
I'm going to write that contract.
Write that contract, bro.
Oh, I'm going to write that
Yeah.
down. Yeah, thank you very much.
No worries, pleasure.
Oh, do you want to plug anything? No?
Plug as in like shout something out.
Shout something out?
Listen to Vinny T's podcast.
Yeah,
Work is work,
yeah,
motherfuckers.
yeah, yeah,
Listen to his
motherfucker,
podcast.
yeah. Listen to my
It's the only thing I
podcast.
need to plug.
Yeah, thank you very much.
No worries, bro.
Thank you.